Let's also
Speaking of stirring the pot.
Yeah, I was trying to get there, right? Rob Carlmark is part of our show today. He is out on location. Look at him chilling.
Hey.
His tie a little looser this morning. What are you doing, and how does it involve beer?
Yes, where are you?
The fact that I'm wearing a tie at a brewery is a big no-no.
Yeah, what are you
I'm
doing?
doing that shirt, Rob. Let the hair out.
Oh.
Okay, so, you know, at our station, we're doing some different things, right? So let's face it. Over the years, we've done a bunch of stories on brew trends and stuff like that. So our producer, Bill Hudson, said, you know what, why don't we just partner with somebody and try and make our own beer, or at least bring some awareness to this, because we have something really huge that happens in Sacramento, and I just learned this off the flyer. Coming up in the first weekend in September 8th and 9th, that's the Craft Beer Summit. So the brewers, the distributors, the industry comes together for new ideas, meet and greet, face-to-face. A lot of the conversations with business done over the phone or on email or text messaging. This way they can get together and taste these beers that that they've been making locally, and just discovering the new trends or what's working. Because California beer, over the last 5 years, and we'll talk more about this, I mean, if you look at what's going on across the country, it's usually starting in California.
Right.
Lagunitas, absolutely huge. A bunch of small brewers getting bought out by big ones. But we have so many local breweries. If you want to know about Mraz Brewing Company, well, there's Mike Mraz right there. So he put his name to it. And he's involved with each and every one of these beers, so we'll talk beer with him in just a second. But it's been incredible to see the beer summit grow, and it's now the biggest beer summit on the West Coast.
Oh, that's
in
huge.
Sacramento. And on Saturday, it's going to be from 11:45 in the morning to 3:45. You can go there and you can taste these great beers, things that they make special just for the Brew Summit. So it's an incredible thing, and I was able to do a couple stories here with Bill Hudson's help, of course, and pour for a little bit and meet and talk to people and go to the beer summit. It was incredible. So let's go ahead and talk to Mike about what's going on in the world of beer these days. So first of all, look at this. You want variety. You want to go on a trip around the world and sit in one chair, which is the way I like to do it. Look at all these different beers, experimenting, trying different things, and then all the technical information, because you want to know how much alcohol's in there, the bitterness, things like that, so you can kind of get an idea what you're in for. And one thing that I love here too, because a lot of breweries these days, it's a family thing. You've got alcohol-free cherry soda. So go ahead and tell us about some of the beers that you have on tap, and then what you're working on special with us.
So we have anything from barrel-aged sours to pale ales and IPAs, and refreshing blonde ales, some Belgian styles. We always like to have definitely a big variety of styles. I always said it, if I ever open a brewery, a tap room, that I want to have a place that has a bunch of different styles, and that you can go to and enjoy, pretty much like you said, around the world in different styles, and educate the customers on what beer is and what it can be. So.
In your experience, local brewer, because you started off as a home brewer, you won the best home brewer in California, right?
Yeah,
nice.
2008, 2009, I was the home brewer of the year for the state of California.
This man knows his beer. So, and we only partner with the best, right? So anyway, in your experience, now that you've gone from that to running your own brewery and working with brewers around the state, where's the trend? Where are we at right now for California beer?
We're always experimenting. Obviously, the IPA is still popular. Everybody asks, is that going to trend down? And I think you're going to see variations of it. I think a few years ago it was like the session IPA, low alcohol. Now it's the Northeast style. It's a little hazy, a little more sweeter than the West Coast style is always going to be popular because it's got that firm bitterness. I think it's just a variation of IPAs is going to continue to be trending upward. But educating the customer along the way on all the other styles, some of the sours we do, those are starting to becoming more and more popular because you're getting more and more people into the market and trying to try different styles of beer.
So Rob, I have a question.
Wait, hang on 1 second. Last year, it was, and I have to slow down every time, it was IP ABC 10 is the beer that he made with us. It was a great IPA. It was wonderful. And then this year, it is going to be called California Soul. The reason why we're here this morning is he's brewing.
Oh, no.
Oh, what happened?
He just got cut right
off.
off.
We took the label, but this is the world premiere of the label.
Tell us a little bit about California Soul, what you're going for with this beer, and then Megan, we'll get to your question.
So, I mentioned different styles of IPAs, and the new popular one in Sacramento is it's called a hazy IPA, Northeast style. It's got a little bit different yeast, a little more fruit-driven yeast, so it gets off those, those citrus flavors and orange flavors. So we figured with your morning show, we'd kind of pair that kind of idea and not really make orange juice, but get a little more fruity of a beer that's not quite so bitter, like a West Coast style, and just nice aromatics on it. And it's just going to be pretty much a nice morning IPA.
Okay, there we go. I like it. So
a morning blend.
Our morning show is hazy, bitter, and fruity.
You're the bitter.
Which one's which?
You're the
he
bitter.
says we get to decide which one we get to be. So I know for sure I bring the haziness.
Oh, okay.
So okay, Megan, what questions do you have, and what are people saying on Facebook Live? Because we have one of the breast.
One of the
Rob, did you have any of the?
It was a Dina Cup for
them
question.
all. They're all
so
great,
go, Dina.
by the way, this morning. No,
it was me.
So what questions do you have, Megan?
Okay,
Dina has the kid.
Gosh,
go,
Rob, you did do some drinking when you got there.
That's fine. Don't hate on that.
So I know Mike because we were there when he first started expanding this brewery here in that tasting room. And when he goes to these craft beer summits, these have not been around in Northern California for very long. I want to know what this really does for him as a local brewery, because there are so many different types of breweries that show up from all across the state. So is it more to one-up each other and to see what the next guy's rolling out to try to get an idea of what your competition is? Or are you really trying to reach out to the public on that big event outside of the Capitol on the weekend when you get to go taste? I want to know from his perspective what this craft beer summit will do for him.
Okay, so if I understand your question correctly, as you go to this beer summit, is this more to reach out to the public and to interact with them, or do you get a lot out of interacting with the different brewers and basically trying to show them up?
That's a good question. The summit was designed to bring the public and get them to meet and greet the brewers and the people that make and distribute the beer around the state. So we bring all the brewers, not all of them, because we have almost 1,000 breweries in California now. I can't remember the exact number because it changes all the time, but quite a bit. So, if you have a favorite beer that you like in California, show up, because the brewer's probably going to be there and you get to talk to them and ask questions. And it's a good opportunity for not just one brewer, but numerous brewers to be there to, ask questions. And there is, they have seminars and stuff that you can listen to. I think Lagunitas was there right after he got bought out, so that was an interesting one. They have panels on different styles of beer. I think there was an IPA panel last year. So those are always nice to get more information and more education for the consumer.
What are your thoughts about? I mean, when we're covering beer in the news, it's because someone bought out somebody. Yeah. Either it's halfway for Lagunitas. Now I think they got all the way bought out. Is that a threat, a concern? Is that an opportunity to have the big players come in to California and buy people out?
I mean, not at our level. We're kind of small. I want to say under the radar, but we're just the local neighborhood brewery we're not trying to expand to those levels. Just like in the wine industry, everything else, we talk about levels of distribution and trying to get things out in the marketplace. And you can only grow so big by yourself. So you're going to need some help through distribution networks or even some raw ingredients. So I think pairing with some of the larger breweries works in their favor to be able to do that. It's also nice to get a check at the end of the day. We work every day, all year long. Yep. Even though it's making beer and we have a good time doing it, it's still work. So
hard work, Mike. Tasting beer all day.
Then great.
Okay, so Mike Mraz Brewing Company. So I know you guys wanted to see California Soul. We're going to have to wait till 9 a.m.
You know what, Rob,
we'll be live here through the 9 o'clock show. We'll take you behind the process. It's super interesting how it all comes together. And what's nice about a small brewery like this is this process is here. Get in a golf cart, go over there, that process. It's all happening right here, hands-on. It's going to be awesome.
By the way, a viewer helped us to create the name for this.
Yes, shout out to our viewer, female.
Yes, was it? Cynthia Belcida.
Cynthia Belcida, thank goodness for our producer, Billy. Really? Okay, is Robbie gone? I just want one quick question for Mr. Mraz.
Okay, go for it. I'm here.
You're there? Okay.
It's gravity. I'm going closer to the taps.
Yeah, we can tell. We don't know what you've already put down, my friend.
It's pulling you in. Really quick, beer has gone in so many different directions now. Beer infused everything from candy to you name it. Can you ask him what the direction of beer is? Where is it going next?
Okay, so her question is a good one, probably the most popular question. If you had to pick a direction, if you had to pick the headline beer style that's going to be new to everybody that they'll be learning about in the next year, what would you say that would be?
I would love pale ales, so hopefully a variety of pale ales start coming back in the marketplace. It's a great food beer. You know, you don't have to drink just half a glass. You know, you can. It just goes well with everything. So it's a great summer day, great rainy day, great food beer. So hopefully pale ales make their way back.
And a lot of California history, of course, Sierra Nevada Pale Ale and Chico. I mean, that put it on the map. At least one of the big ones first that we all know about. So that's an interesting answer. I did not expect that.
Yeah. So that's kind of what that's my favorite style of beer, so hopefully we can.
Oh, I see. Favoritism here. I like
and remember,
if
you come here, you're not into drinking, but there's food trucks on Friday. You can bring the dog, you can bring the kids, get some cherry soda, no big deal.
And we'll add that El Dorado Hills, of course, has some amazing mountain bike trails. So every time I've gone to see Mraz Brewing, it's because I'm coming down the hill off of a strenuous bike ride, and we need a beer to quench our thirst.
I would say a nice water, but okay.
Yes.
Okay.
You can the first beer is very hydrating.
It is. Ask Mike.
Dina's talking about there's a lot of great mountain biking trails right around here. So maybe since it's on the downhill, right? This is your final destination.
Yeah. Mike knows. He knows. He's seen me a couple times.
Oh, look at Dina.
All right.
Geeking it up with Mr. Mraz over there.
Like, right.
She'll be in later today.
Yeah, I'm going to go do the Salmon Falls Trail.
All right, boys.
Dina, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Are we still on?
Yeah, you are. You are.
He said it's funny you mentioned mountain biking, right? And here's the thing about local brewers. They know their neighbors. They know their community. Something in El Dorado Hills and Folsom is biking, road biking, mountain biking. So they partnered with Fat Track, one of the groups that works on the trails around here, right? To make a beer?
Yep, they do everything from working on the trails to making sure everything's clean, even to legislative work to try and get more mountain bike trails open.
Awesome.
So, yeah, I was just competed in the Santa Cruz Mother Load, which is put together by Fat Track, just up here from Cool down to Granite Bay. So that was on Saturday. So
nice.
It's a mountain bike community is pretty big around here, so we decided to make a beer for them. Every $1 for every pint we sell will go towards the mountain bike.
Oh, I love that.
Generous guy, great beer, and of course we'll be live here at 9.
Love it.
And you better have that tie off by 9. You gotta loosen up,
one
my
beer
friend.
gone.
You know me.
You have a lunch break coming up?
Semi-professional.
Yeah, semi. I mean, let's put the camera down really quick and see the vans, and then we'll move on. Can we see the vans real quick?
Okay, they want to see the vans.
Or is he barefoot by this
Party on the bottom, business
There we
on
go.
top.
There we go.
Robbie.
All right, well, we got to give away some
Okay,
tickets,
yes,
y'all.
tickets. Ticket giveaway. It's
We gotta